And let's take you to the House of Legislature, where the minority in Parliament is demanding the immediate dismissal of Lands and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Ama-Kofi-Boah. They are accusing him of mismanaging the lithium deal with Barari DV. According to the group, when the minister presented the deal before the House, he defended its terms and insisted it was a much better deal. Speaking on behalf of the MPP minority, Old Tafu MP Vincent Asifua berated the minister for flip-flopping on the deal.
Have been satisfied, and the same agreement is later withdrawn on the basis that those requirements were not in fact fully met. Accountability must necessarily follow. In every democracy, ministers bear personal responsibility for the accuracy, reliability, and completeness of the information they place before Parliament. The integrity of parliamentary oversight depends on it. The minister forcefully defended the agreement, dismissed concerns raised by the minority and civil society, and presided over its presentation to Parliament for ratification. The subsequent withdrawal of the agreement, now explained on grounds of inadequate consultations and the need for further review, represents a direct contradiction of the assurances previously given to Parliament. This sequence of events amounts to an implicit admission that Parliament was asked to proceed on the basis of information that was at best incomplete. While the minority recognizes the consultation and stakeholder engagement are essential of responsible governance, such engagement must occur before an agreement is defended and laid before Parliament, not after it has been withdrawn under public pressure. It is neither reasonable nor acceptable to assure Parliament that consultations have been concluded, only to later rely on insufficient consultation as justification for a reversal. It is this inconsistency between what Parliament was told and what has now been conceded that lies at the core of our concern. Lithium is a strategic mineral with far-reaching implications for Ghana's industrialization agenda, energy transition, youth employment prospects, environmental protection, and intergenerational equity. The management of such a resource demands clarity, consistency, and foresight. The minister's erratic handling of this matter has undermined public confidence, weakened Ghana's negotiating position, and exposed Parliament to avoidable embarrassment. In any functioning democracy, a sector minister who presides over such contradictions and uncertainty on a matter of national importance must take responsibility for his action. In these circumstances, the minority of the 9th Parliament in Parliament is of the firm view that the honourable course of action is for the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources to resign or be relieved of his position in the interest of accountability, good governance, and restoration of public trust in the management of Ghana's mineral resources. The minority reiterates its unwavering commitment.
That's the MPP MP for Old Tafu, Vincent Asifua. Let's stay a while in Parliament and speak to our resident correspondent, Kweku Asante, for more. Kweku, do we have any response from the majority side yet?
Look, and I can assure you that by close of day today, we're going to get responses. Already, I'm digging and getting some information that the minister's side may be putting a public release out to contradict some of the points that have been made. In fact, one person telling me in confidence, off the record, that they do not concede to this idea that the minister has bundled this process up, for which reason they may demand his resignation. And they are clear that he is not going to resign. As far as he is concerned, he has done what is right. And by close of day today, they're going to put out some public release telling their side of the story. And they are doing this by withdrawing the lithium agreement from Parliament about 2 weeks ago is because they want to get a deal good for the people of Ghana. And despite they having come to Parliament and presented it, did not preclude them from actually coming back to Parliament to withdraw it. And so they reject in its entirety this new demand by the minority. We're going to hear from them by close of day today.
That's quite interesting. And we have 3 more sittings for the House to go on Christmas break. How is business in the House taking shape?
Walking on Friday, members of Parliament will take a break to go and have Christmas with their families and go back to their constituencies. Ordinarily, this week would have been a very busy week because there would have still been a number of estimates of the various MDAs from the 2026 budget that are still outstanding. But the majority side have been able to get all of those through. So when it comes to estimates having to do with the budget, all of them have been completely dealt with. But there are still bills. And yesterday there was such a major disagreement on the Bank of Ghana Amendment Act. The conversation is going to continue. They are going to come back to the floor. And so there are a number of outstanding bills, but the agenda is really rather light as Parliament prepares to go on break on Friday. We do not expect a lot of major disagreements ahead of the appropriation itself being passed perhaps on the last day of sitting on Friday, Ken.
Kweku, keep us updated. That's our resident correspondent in Parliament. Now